And hello, Creeplings! Lupus Creepus is here with my roommates, Shandon.
Hello.
And Sarah.
Hi!
And I think Wednesdays kind of turned into a little bit of a random miscellaneous video day, because every once in a while we have the games, we have some of the vlogs, like the one we're going to do right now. But I thought it would just be kind of interesting to kind of sit down with these two, and I've been living with them for about a year now. And they actually have some pretty interesting stories about what it's like living with a YouTuber, specifically living with Lupus Creepus. Mm-hmm. And I just thought it'd be really cool just to kind of sit down and give you guys, again, a little bit of a backstage thing and see what it's like, you know, living every day with me. And Big Peeps, who just ran upstairs.
Yeah.
So, I'll start off with Shandon. I know you have some interesting stuff, so just tell me, what is it like just living with Lupus Creepus?
Loud. You don't get much sleep past 6 in the morning. When he goes to work in the morning, Lupus here is very adamant about putting his boots on before he goes downstairs. So about 6 in the morning, without fail, pretty much, you hear this stomp, 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 and then a door shut. And that's him going to the bathroom. And then you hear stomp, 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 throws the cat out of the bedroom, stomp, 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 all the way downstairs till he makes it out of the house.
I didn't know that you had completely had my morning ritual down.
I had your morning ritual down to a T.
I think we even have your nightly ritual down to
I've
a
actually
T as
gotten to
well.
a point
Oh,
now.
wow.
I've actually gotten to a point now where I won't even wake up to you stomping. I'll wake up before you start stomping because I know what's going to happen. And then I listen to you go the whole way and then I go back to sleep.
Yeah, sounds about right, actually.
I'm like an alarm clock.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're never
pretty
late
much.
for work, so
Exactly.
thanks for that.
It's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
good.
It's great.
Now, Sarah, what about you? What is it like living with me?
Well, I want to continue on this ritual
Oh,
thing, because
okay.
you do have rituals. I know you like to do them on the channel.
Regular rituals. not-
Regular rituals,
Okay.
like nighttime rituals.
Mhm.
And I don't know if you know this, but we can hear you every night singing your peep face song.
Oh my gosh.
So every night
Oh.
before Lupus goes to bed, he sings a night-night song to his kitty cat.
She just so
Keepers.
adorable. She just so adorable. See,
Sing
my-
the song. Sing
all
the
right.
song.
See, my dad used to randomly like sing to his animals, and I think it picked it up from him. So when I see my cat, the first thing I go is, "Little Miss Peepers, what a peep face, and you peep all over the place."
Hogger likes it.
Okay, now, speaking about rituals, I know that I've hijacked the house a lot of times to do some of these rituals.
Yes.
Which we
So-
don't mind, of course.
Well, I
For the
greatly
greater
appreciate
good.
that, yeah.
Mhm.
Until I haunt the house with the
I mean, there's only so
Yeah.
much of your in-laws you can take, though.
Yeah, that's true. We have to go over there every single time you kick us out. So, but at least we get good food.
That's
Yeah.
good. So, I want to hear, what is it like living, you know, with these rituals going on and everything? I know that you have some stories about the aftermath of some of these rituals.
Ooh, Shandon, share the sink story.
Okay. So, you guys have requested, I know that you did the regular Bloody Mary, I believe.
Mhm.
And then after we moved in here, you decided you were going to do the whole, the video for the enhanced Bloody Mary.
Yeah, it was the Queen of Fallen Blood.
Okay.
It's a pretty creepy one,
I don't
too.
know the names. I'm sorry. Don't hate me, guys. But I remember I'd gone to work that day, and I'd come home, and it was just one of the random times I've never really had to use the bathroom after coming home. So normally I'll go before I leave from work. I'll go to the bathroom, and then when I'm home I can relax, I can rest because I have to cook dinner and everything else. So it was one day I didn't use the bathroom. I don't know why, and I really had to go to the bathroom when I came home, and I ran to the bathroom and did my business, and I went to use the sink, and there's blood, literal pig blood, all over the sink.
It was beef blood.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
blood?
beef blood. It was beef
Okay,
blood.
it was in the sink. It was all over the knobs. I
It wasn't
stopped.
all over the knobs.
Well, it was
It
on
was
the
on
knobs.
the knobs.
It was on the knobs.
Yeah,
Oh.
it was. You tried cleaning. You did a very valiant effort, but beef blood's really hard to get
And I
off.
remember
So-
going, what is, and not realizing, and then when I asked Sarah, she goes, "Oh, he did his Bloody Mary ritual thing in the bathroom." And I was like, "So wait, is the bathroom haunted?" And then I remember taking a photo of it with my phone and sending it to you and go, "David, you missed the spot."
Yeah, and then I made a period joke. It was pretty good. We enjoyed that.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, that wasn't my fault though, because I had to do that like way late at night, and by the end time like I was done. I was tired. I'm like, I want to go to bed now.
And it was dark.
Yeah, it was also dark too.
And it's hard to see that kind of thing.
Plus, that bathroom is scary.
It is scary. That bathroom and your bathroom is extremely scary.
I don't feel like my, because we have a few bathrooms here. My bathroom upstairs. I mean, you guys have seen it in a few videos, like Dry Bones. You'll see the bathroom in there. But the lower bathroom, see, it's not just a bathroom. It also goes right underneath these stairs here to a little storage area that's freaking dark. There's a little curtain over it, so there could just be a freaking monster just chilling right there behind the curtain while I'm doing this Bloody Mary thing. I'll have no idea till it kills me. That's a scary bathroom.
Yeah, and it is probable. It's going to happen someday, one of these days, I'm sure.
I swear to God, if one of you guys dresses up like a monster and scares me while I'm in the bathroom,
That's a really good idea.
I'm gonna.
April Fools.
Oh my gosh!
You know,
I'm
in fact-
never
in
using
fact-
that bathroom again.
In fact, my boss gave me a great idea for you today.
Oh wow! I'm
For
scared now.
April Fools, and I'm not going to share it with you because it needs to be shared with everyone else.
So we have that to look
I'm
forward to.
supposed to be doing the April Fool's joke on you guys. They're not supposed to do it on me.
I think this year we're going to turn the tables.
Oh my gosh, this is gonna be great.
Yep.
Okay, so I know you wanted to share, wanted to sing story. What else? What other crazy things have come up while I've been your roommate?
Trying to think.
Trying to think. We hear a lot of weird, random sounds in the middle of the night. And it could be you, or it could be something else, or it could be the cats. We don't know. But I just I like to think and stay positive and think, oh, it's one of the cats. But there have been some really creepy noises.
There's been a couple times where we've gone through. I don't know. He did his. You guys did your live stream.
Yeah, the Ouija board, right?
Yeah, with the Ouija board. And if you watch that, that actually takes place in the room that's right over here to us.
Yeah.
Just right off to the side of us here. And in fact, if you watch that video when you guys are trying to contact the dead and everything like that, everything's perfectly fine. Nothing's moving in the shot. And then all of a sudden, when it's not working for you guys for some reason, if you watch, all of a sudden, the Indian Dreamcatcher just starts going crazy.
I think some people mentioned that too on there.
And it starts going crazy. Now, I was wondering, well, why would it be going crazy? What could do it?
Mm-hmm.
And so what I've actually come across is that during that time, I thought, I read the comments and everything. I thought, okay, well maybe it actually is that the Dreamcatcher worked. The Dreamcatcher was blocking the ritual, and that's what happened. And what I've kind of started trying to do is okay, around the house, reading the comments, what could we have done better that would have helped and made it to where something wouldn't have interfered. The first one is this Dreamcatcher. There's actually a vent on the ceiling for the air conditioner, and it was blowing right onto the Dreamcatcher. So the Dreamcatcher was moving because of the air.
Yeah.
And see, that's one of the things that I try kind of take into consideration about this stuff. Is a lot of times you think something crazy is happening, but it's a vent, or it's this, or it's that.
And that's true. And in that case, that was. And then in another case where we did one of the loot box openings, everyone kept saying, "Oh, there's something in the glass." And it was actually my reflection in the window that we didn't think about because I was manning with cameras at the time, and so it happens, and it's fun. But I mean, there are things that happen in the house as well. Noises like Sarah said. Times where, you're pretty sure you're the only one awake and you hear something fall or anything and you're like, okay, it's the cats. And then you realize most of the cats are in the room already and there's really no one to be accounted for downstairs. And it's just things where you don't want to go downstairs. When I was younger, I used to even, and had this, and this kind of pertains to your channel, is that I used to see things out of what I thought were just shadows out of the corner of my eye. My mom handed me books by Sylvia Brown. If anyone's really into psychic stuff, I really recommend her books. They're great. But they kind of teach you a little bit on how to channel that inner and what you're seeing, and what it is that you're seeing almost other people. It's kind of like a person or a shadow walk out of it. And I hadn't for a while. I had not seen anything like that for a very long time. But it wasn't until we moved in here and he starts doing these rituals, and I'm pretty certain that before we moved in here, this house wasn't haunted. Okay, I'm pretty certain that by the time we move out, no one's going to want to stay here because they're going to think it's like an Indian burial ground is under here.
Yep.
And by the way, you know what's funny? To keep on with my track record, haven't seen or heard anything. Nothing.
Yeah.
House is perfectly fine here. No problems.
That's also because you sleep with earbuds in.
I haven't been doing that as much lately, though.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still-
Well, you're staying up really late recently playing Star Wars, too.
Yes, just got back at Star Wars: The Old Republic. It's fun.
Yes.
Now, I do want to... I remember you telling me... So, it was for the wall ritual.
Mm-hmm.
I remember... I just found this one funny. I want you to tell this story.
Okay.
What did I come up to you and ask for when I was doing that one? When I needed the stranger?
Oh, right. Okay, so I've kind of unofficially become like the acquisitions manager for the channel, trying to get people or things that we need for the channel. And one day, Lupus comes up to me and he says, okay, so this is going to sound really weird, but if you can pull this off, I'll love you forever. I need someone that I have never met before who would be willing to give me blood for a ritual and be filmed doing it. And I'm like racking my brain like, who the heck do I know that is going to be willing to let blood for some stranger?
Yeah, a complete stranger.
A complete stranger.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily, I have a few creepy friends that are very nice and
And to the person that
willing.
actually did this, we're not calling you creepy.
No, not at all.
You're awesome.
Well, I mean,
but-
you're creepy in your own way, and you know it, and that's what we love about you. But I'd actually met Ashley. I hadn't actually officially met Ashley yet either, but I'd met her through the Blizz Nerds group on Facebook, which is a really good group that I'm a part of. And so I reached out to her because I knew she lived down the street.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, hey, it's going to sound really weird. And she was totally game for it.
She was, yeah.
And I was totally surprised because I was expecting no one to say yes. Because it's just like so bizarre going up to someone and be like, hey, so do you want to let blood on camera and potentially have thousands of people watch you do it? Most people would probably say no, but luckily she was a
Sounds
good
like a
trooper.
really bad fortune.
And
thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Want to let blood on camera?
And that was the funniest thing was I honestly did not expect the wall setup to work that way.
Mm-hmm.
And Sarah's like, I got somebody for you. Never met her. That was the first time I met her. So, I mean, you guys pretty much saw me meeting her. And, well, you can watch the video and see what happened.
Now, the wall was the one where you had to have the
Yeah, we had-
translation correct as well.
Yeah, oh, you know what? Yeah, actually, yeah. I don't think we talked about this. Again, this was actually something that you told me that happened kind of while it was going on.
Yes.
Yes.
This is actually genuinely creepy. So again, if you guys haven't seen the wall, I'd recommend taking a look at the wall video. It's a really interesting ritual, really kind of creepy. We didn't have anything on our side happen, but Shannon has a story to tell on this one.
Now, what ended up happening is that before, right as we were setting up filming to enter the house, the rest of the crew got back to the house. We waited for you and Ashley to get there. Outside. No one entered the house or anything like that, but they needed a sentence, a certain sentence.
there was like a certain sentence that needed to be said, but you couldn't say it in your own language.
Correct.
It had to be a different language.
And
so I think we decided on Latin because it was creepier,
yes.
right? Yeah.
We decided on Latin because it sounded creepier. Because Latin language, just for some reason, just
It's
anything
ancient,
you ever
powerful.
watch that has something to do with the
It's
mind,
always Latin.
it's always Latin.
Yeah, it's always Latin.
So we decided, okay, let's do Latin. We pulled up Google Translate. We put the sentence in Sarah's phone, and she played it off. And these two practiced it before they actually did the run.
So we could hear what it
they only
sounded
had one
like.
chance. You know, you only had one chance. Once you opened that door, you had one shot at filming the whole thing. It's what happened. So practice it so they knew what they were going to say. And they went ahead and went upstairs and did the ritual. At the we were timing it and watching it on our clocks.
Mm-hmm.
And about the same time, around the same time that they started on the actual film saying their lines, all of a sudden, out of the blue, Sarah and I had gone down to the end of the driveway, and we were kind of away from everyone else. And all of a sudden, her phone wouldn't respond to her anymore.
It went black.
It went completely black and started spitting out the Latin words over and over and over and over, and it wouldn't stop.
It did it 3 times.
And then eventually you were able to get it to respond again, and it all came back together, and it was just weird.
Yeah.
It wasn't like
reset
it wasn't like we hit play or anything, because you were looking at your phone and it just went black, said what it had to say, did its thing, and then stopped. It was like it was trying to participate in the whole ritual without being in the house. And that spooked me, which is why once he was done and they were done filming in the house, I asked him, I said, what time did you guys say these things? And he went back.
And that's actually the good thing about recording it, because I can be like, well, we know at this time we went inside and just played through the video and went, okay, at this time, I think it was just only like a couple minutes, or it took us about a couple minutes to get upstairs, get everything set, and start the actual ritual.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think right around the same time, I asked him, he went through the footage and found out that right around that time, around the time that we'd had that phenomenon, is when they were talking, when we were able to sit down there, and it lasted almost about the same amount of time, so it was very strange.
Oh, and the point, I don't think you mentioned this, the voice that repeated it wasn't the original voice. It was a kind of creepier version. It sounded raspy.
It was almost like it was played on top of itself like 3 or 4 times over.
Exactly. It was like leveled, and it was super creepy.
It wasn't right.
The original voice.
It wasn't the original Google voice that had given us the whole sentence. So that's what kind of alarmed us. And that's why we brought it to your attention, and I wasn't sure, that just talking about it reminded me of that. And so I wanted to bring that.
That's a good story too. And well, I mean, keep with us, guys. Maybe one of these rituals will actually work and have something really creepy happen. I mean,
hopefully it doesn't kill you, though.
Hopefully it doesn't.
He's besides hunting the house and everything, he's like the best roommate ever.
Seriously.
I mean,
I've never had a better roommate.
He doesn't.
Aww, I really appreciate that, guys.
He doesn't destroy the house or anything. I mean, the house is still standing. It doesn't caught on fire, so.
Yeah, not for lack of trying.
Yeah. Well, all the candles that we use, it's probably happened at some point.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys for sitting down and talking with me and talking with the viewers out there.
Thank you.
I think y'all really appreciate it. Stick with us. I got a lot more going on. I got plans for the season finale of Will It Kill Me coming up, so be sure to stick with that. And also, like, comment, and subscribe. If you guys have any ideas for rituals, creepy stories for me to read, anything else, put them in the comments, message me. You guys know how to contact me there. And again, thank you, Shandon. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you very much.
And this is Lupus, and we're out.